What is going on, guys? It is your main man Gary G Gaming here, and today I'd like to do a little video, I don't know, just sort of guided rambling, just talking a little bit of shit, you know, stuff I just never really get to talk about. You know, if you just want to have a sit down, have a listen to the nice DB605 engine of this Bf-109 G2, premium Romanian. Not the best pilot, so don't expect too much. Just, you're here for the listen, not for the fucking gameplay. So yeah. I don't really know what to talk about to start with, other than, I don't know, let's just talk about shit I want to get added to the game that's of my nation. So I come from Australia, and many people probably don't know what my nation contributed to the war effort during the Second World War. But we had a aircraft company called the Commonwealth Aircraft Corporation, or the Commonwealth Aircraft Company, and that's abbreviated to CAC, which is how I'm going to refer to it for the rest of the video. So CAC produced a lot of airframes during the war, for the United Kingdom and for the US especially. And they actually came up with some of their own designs as well. If you look at the British premiums, you can see the Boomerang and the Wirraway. They're both Australian aircraft. They're named after Australian things. Boomerang, everyone knows what the fuck a boomerang is. And then a Wirraway is, I can't remember. Yeah, some fucking Australian I am. I probably know what it is, but I just can't remember at the moment because it's late and I'm fucking tired. But there is a plane that I am interested in them adding, maybe as a premium in the near future. So if anyone from GuideTube is watching this, please add this aircraft in as a premium. So CAC developed a propeller aircraft to function as like an advanced prop. And it was broadly similar to the P-51 Mustang. We called it the Kangaroo. So the Commonwealth Aircraft Company Kangaroo, this thing was pretty similar to a P-51, if I'm going to be honest here. But I think it'd just be a nice addition to, you know, the British tech tree, something along the lines of a P-51D that, I don't know. And then any Australian could really appreciate it because, you know, it's a bit of history. Not many were built, and then they ended up scrapping it or something. I can't, because the P-51 was already in production, and we just thought the war was ending, we might as well just buy P-51s rather than have to deal with our own plane. So yeah, from a logistical standpoint, it made sense to scrap it. So yeah, I'm too lazy to like put pictures of this shit up. So what I'll do is I'll leave like a link down below to like either a picture or an article on whatever I'm talking about. Another British premium that I'd like to see introduced would be the Supermarine Spiteful, which was meant to be a replacement for the Spitfire. Now, I will note that while it is meant to be a replacement for the Spitfire, the Mark 22 and Mark 24 Spitfires that are in the game actually outperform it in real life, so it wouldn't be a super prop. However, it would still be a pretty fucking potent plane. Like, it'd be up there with the two other Griffin Spits. And so it's got a redesigned wing. It looks more like a P-51's wing than the elliptical wing we're used to on a Spitfire. And interestingly enough, if you actually want to look at the airframe of this thing, just look at the Supermarine Attacker, which is currently in the game, because that pretty much is the navalized. So it's a big, long, convoluted story, but basically the Spiteful was navalized and turned into the Seafang, Supermarine Seafang, and then after the Supermarine Seafang, they took it and said, let's put a jet into this fucking thing, and sure enough, that's where you get the Supermarine Attacker from. So yeah, you can already see the wings and the control surfaces and shit like that. They're on the Attacker. Maybe there's some adjustments, but I mean that's the gist of it. So yeah, it's pretty cool at least. Another thing which I don't know how they'd implement this, because I mean now that there's rank 5 premiums, this could be feasible, but at the same time you'd be giving Britain a Sabre. So I don't know what people would really think about that. But so there is a thing. Australia produced F-86 Sabres in the 50s, except our Sabres didn't have the traditional 650 caliber machine guns, nor did they have experimental 20mm cannons in them. No, we put two 30mm Aiden cannons in our Sabres. Yeah, we were a nation like that. So could you imagine a saber in game that had two 30mm cannons as a premium? See, Australia will probably never be a standalone nation in this game because the French aren't even here yet. So I doubt Australia would ever be given its own thing. Having said that, I doubt they'd give Britain a premium saber that had cannons. Now, my solution to this would be putting it in the US tech tree, since it's an American aircraft, just with Australian aid-in cannon. I think that would be quite cool, at least to me. Because I'm a big fan of anything, like, I'm not one of those guys, so you do get people, because my country does a bit of, like, fighting, like, we're good fighters in history, or we're portrayed as good fighters, but like there are some guys or older blokes in my country who think like Australia saved the fucking world, and if you look at it from a proper historical standpoint, we didn't. We were just there. Like we contributed. We punched well above our weight for sure. I don't want to belittle the actions of the diggers or anything like that. Fuck no, quite the opposite. I'm the biggest patriot of my country, but some guys just go too far, and I sit there and I think to myself, like, I swear some people would think that we could take on the fucking whole USSR and win or something like that. It's like, you're fucking ridiculous. So I just don't understand those people sometimes, but yeah. But what was I going on to say was that, yeah, I'm fond of anything like Australian being added just to games. Like, I enjoy that they added the Sentinel prototype, the Thunderbolt, which had a 17-pounder gun. Lord knows how they fucking fit a 17-pounder gun into the Sentinel prototype when they could barely fit the regular gun, like the 2-pounder. So that to me is amazing. And there's plenty more too. Like, there's plenty of Australian shit that they could add into the game. Now that rank, what's it called, 6 is coming, like you might be able to see an Aussie Leopard, or maybe if they go as far as the Abrams, we operated the M1A1, well, we still do operate the M1A1, so I don't know, you could see something along those lines being added as a premium. I'm not too sure how far you could go with it, but I'm not just like like an Anglo supremacist. Like, I do enjoy other nations as well. I'm obviously flying a Bf-109 at the moment. And speaking of which, one of the good premiums they could add for the Germans would be the Me-209, which, not the racing prototype, the actual Me-209, which is essentially this airframe. So imagine like a K4's airframe, but it's got the front end is it's equipped with a DB603 engine, which is currently on the TA152C3. So imagine that front end just on a Bf-109. In real life, it was considered obsolete by the D-series Focke-Wulfs and the Tower 152. But yeah, that would be a cool premium to me, because I mean they put the fucking Heinkel 100 in the game, so the Me-209, that would be cool. Just a high performance Bf-109. That would be quite excellent. And we're just about to win the game, so I don't know, I guess I'll catch you in the next one. So I decided that instead of lucking out and just trying to go into another game, I'd head to bed soon, so I'd just fly a test flight to finish up what I was talking about in this video, just about maybe shit that I like to add into the game. I mean, really, what they need to focus on with Germany and its air forces is they need to get the Heinkel 177 into the game. This is Germany's only 4-engine heavy bomber, not including the what's it called, the Focke-Wulf 200, because that's technically a maritime patrol aircraft. I don't really count that as a heavy bomber in my opinion. But yeah, the Heinkel 177. This, it's not like an obscure prototype. I thought it was an obscure prototype. No, they produced 1,000 of the things. It looks like a twin-engine bomber, but each of those engine nacelles has 2 engines in it, so it's a 4-engine bomber just with 2 propellers. Yeah, it was a production bomber. It should be added to the Germans. I'm sorry to say, it needs to go right between the Dornier 217 bombers and the Arados. That's where it needs to go, and they need to just hurry the fuck up and add this into the game. I mean, Lord knows how long they were waiting for the P51H to be added. Like, I know I've seen some forum posts that go back to like fucking a long fucking time ago, like 2013. They were asking for the P51H to be added into the game. So, you know, I mean, the US have been waiting on their super prop for a long time, but still, you know, I just feel like it shouldn't be that hard. But then again, I don't know how Gaijin operates, so, you know, it might actually be really hard to add something like that into the game. I don't really know too much about Russian premium, so I probably wouldn't add anything in personally. There's a couple of tanks that I know of, like, I think the IS-7 might be a fun gift tank. Don't bite my fucking head off for saying that. Like, we've already got IS-6 in the game, so IS-7, I mean, what could possibly go wrong? 130mm gun, about as mobile as an IS-6, even thicker armor. Death to all things, right? Well, heat FS. That's all I gotta say. Heat FS. Straight through that. I mean, it might have been nerfed lately, but like, if you've got heat, it kind of makes the IS-7's armor redundant. And I'm pretty sure Gaijin already confirmed that they were going to add that as like a gift vehicle, similar to the E100 anyway. So, you know, I don't really see the big point of contention there. I really don't. So, you know, it should be fine. Other than that, I mean, there's so many like different vehicles. I should just make a full video talking about like different stuff I'd like to see added. Like, the US had a full-on program to introduce a self-propelled anti-aircraft vehicle because of like the rise of jets. They cancelled it, and then helicopters came in, so they brought it back. Like, there's a vehicle the US have, an SPA called the Vigilante, and it had a 6-barreled 37mm cannon. Like, you think the Vulcan is bad, the M163 VAADS is bad in the game now? Imagine a fucking 37mm autocannon firing. That would just be incredible. But I've got the feeling they're going to add in the Sergeant York, which is an M48 pattern with, I believe, it's either got a twin-barreled gun or a Gatling gun, I can't remember. Yeah, the Sergeant York is most likely going to be added in the game as their new, like, the SPAA that comes after the what's it called, the VADS. Don't think they'd add anything else after that. They could add in the like the LAV-25 with the 20mm cannon, but that's just a VADS again, and that thing has missiles too, so I'm not sure how they'd go about that. But that might be like the future, so, you know, we'll see how that goes, really. Other than that, I mean, I don't think there's much else. There is a, like, Conqueror tank destroyer variant that might be cool to see added into the game. I believe World of Tanks is adding that in soon. What else was I going to say? There was one other thing from World of Tanks. Oh yeah, the T-30. Now that would be interesting to me to see added into the game, because it's basically the T-29/T-34 heavy tank chassis, but with a 155mm gun. Now, we've already got the British 183mm gun in the game at the moment, so it wouldn't be the biggest and baddest, but it would still be pretty fucking potent. Like, think of how strong those heavy tank hulls are already in the game, and then put a 155mm gun on there. You've got yourself a pretty powerful package, and not gonna lie, I think that would be a very good counter to the IS-6s. All their bullshit that you gotta fucking deal with at the moment. I think that would be really great. I mean, personally, now that you've got the rank 5 premiums, I really think Gaijin should just bite the bullet and make IS-6 a fucking 7.3, or at least a 7.7, because I don't think anyone can tell me, what advantage does IS-3 have over IS-6? And then tell me why IS-6 is BR lower. Like a full 0.3 BR lower. It should be the same as an IS-3 or better. But I don't know. That to me is sort of a big question mark when it comes to this game. Like, I really don't get the whole IS-6 spam. I really want to get myself a Jag Tiger just so I can fucking punch a hole straight through those cunts. But, you know, that's just me being hyper aggressive at the moment. So yeah. You know, this has just been a little ramble. you know, this is pretty low quality content compared to what I usually make, but, you know, I just wanted to be able to talk and just get some shit out there. You know, let me know what you guys think. Alright, I'll post some comments to you. Tell me what you think should be added to this game. Not like balance changes or anything like that. Tell me what you think a vehicle or anything that should be added to the game. Let me know how it would affect the game too. Like, so if you're thinking, like, say the Germans have got a bit of a gap between 7.0 and their high tier stuff, maybe you'd want the E series added. So like the Entwicklung 75 and the Entwicklung 50 for the Germans, or something like that. I don't know. But yeah, you guys come up with shit and tell me what you think about it, and I'll reply in the comments and just let you know what I think of it personally as well. Whether it be a good idea or a bad idea, I don't really mind. So yeah, this is going to go up raw, uncut, and all that other stuff. So hope you guys have enjoyed this little ramble. It has been your boy Gary G. Leave a like if you liked it, dislike if you fucking hated it. Comment down below any thoughts, and make sure to subscribe. I'll catch you guys next time. Bye.